Kesagake bear in 1915, a village in Japan was subjected to repeated and bloody attacks by a bear known as the Kesagake. Events began when this predatory beast used to visit the local village and steal corn from the residents. More and more often he left the animal world and came to the settlement. The locals, dissatisfied with what was happening, tried to shoot the bear but instead only wounded the pest. The ravenous beast fled into the woods, and people thought that the shots had frightened it, and it was unlikely it would ever return. But after a while it returned and made its way to the home of one of the farmers, where only his wife and child were present. The killer animal first mauled the child, and then attacked his wife. The woman's desperate attempts to escape the beast were in vain. The ogre dragged her into the woods, where her remains were later found. After a farmer saw the bloody walls of his home, he and 30 other men headed into the woods to capture and execute the brutal beast. The bear was supposed to die, but just like the last time, the hunters were only able to wound it. The bloody events didn't end there. The bear was not going to stop and once again left the animal world, going out on a bloody killing spree. Now the bear's victims were 2 children and a pregnant woman who, according to witnesses, begged for mercy. Monster the killer animal once again escaped retribution. The frightening news that a predatory beast was on the loose in the village reached a once famous bear hunter who joined a group of volunteers on December 14 and was able to kill the bear. December 9, 1915. At about 11 a.m., Kesagake broke into Farmer Oda's house, where Abe Mayu, the head of the family's wife, and his adopted son, Hasumi Niko, were at the time. The bear bit his head and killed the boy in the house. The woman tried to fend him off before Kesagake eventually dragged her into the woods where he ate her. December 10, 1915. The day proved to be an extremely eventful one for the people of Sankabetsu. A posse of about 30 armed locals was assembled to search for the man-eating bear and the remains of Abe Mayu. They entered the forest before going more than 150 meters into the forest when they were confronted by a very aggressive Kesagake. Surprisingly, but having opened heavy fire, from all crowd only one man has hit a bear, and even that not mortally. The beast escaped from the people who came to his soul, after which the hunters began to inspect the place of the meeting and quickly found the remains of Abe Mayu under a spruce. Only the head and legs of the woman remained. Back in Sankabetsu, the villagers had a long discussion and finally came to the conclusion that the bear would eat human flesh and would surely come to the village again that night. An ambush was set up at Farmer Oda's house. December 14, 1915. As dawn broke, the sniper team began to investigate the surroundings and found traces of blood. Since the bear had already been wounded more than once, it was decided that this was the best opportunity to track down and kill Kesagake before he attacked again. Following the trail, the snipers were able to locate the resting Kesagake by the oak tree. The bear did not see the hunters approach, and they were able to shoot him in the heart area first, and then the head for good measure. The murdered bear cub was carefully measured. Its weight was 340 kilograms, and its length from head to tail was 2.7 meters. Most of the locals who witnessed the attacks chose to abandon the village soon after these events and move elsewhere. They found it hard to live near the